Hi, this is Peter Bromberg from eggheadcafe.com. As .NET developers, we often work in an environment where we don't have a dedicated DBA to handle the database and the stored procedures. So we have to learn how to create schemas and tables and do joins and learn the basics of Transact SQL. One weak point for many developers is they never really learn how to effectively tune indexes for the best performance of the database. What we're going to do here is show you a simple way to use the SQL Server Database Tuning Wizard to create statistics and indexes, many of which you would never have thought how to do yourself. And the process can be semi-automated. So let's dive in. We're going to use SQL Server Management Studio and the Northwind database. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the stored procedures that are already in there. I have a few extras, but these are the stock ones. And what we'll do is we'll turn those into a workload. So if we look at DBO cust order hist, what I would do is I would get rid of all of the stored procedure stuff and simply declare customer ID equals ALFKI. Of course, we recognize that as one of the customer IDs. We can do the same thing with cust orders detail. When we're done, we have a whole series of queries that represent the workload of the stored procedure in the database. Of course, all you have to do is remove the stored procedure stuff. And of course, we can test this to make sure that it all works. And as you can see, we've got results. So we can save that workload file as a workload. And now we can go into Tools and choose the Database Engine Tuning Advisor. And what we do there is sign in. We have a new workload. What we can do is choose a file. And I'll go get my file of the Northwind workload. Then we're going to choose the Northwind database. And we're going to use Northwind as the database for our workload analysis. Now, if you set the defaults, all you really need to do is click the Start Analysis button. And it should go through those 5 times, and it will come up with a series of recommendations. And we'll just wait a couple of seconds while that finishes executing. The final result is we have a whole series of recommendations, including the SQL for each one. So we can actually take that SQL, copy it to the clipboard, and execute them in SQL Server Management Studio. And we can do that for every single one. And you'll notice that SQL Server Tuning Wizard creates statistics which are used to help tune the queries. When we're done, we have a whole series of statistics and associated indexes that we can then execute against the database. And we've now tuned our database with the best possible indexes. Now, most developers would never be able to figure out exactly how to create the best indexes.